This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. OPEC oil output rose in February, led by a further recovery in Nigerian supply, a Reuters survey found on Tuesday, despite strong adherence by top producers to an agreement by the wider OPEC Plus alliance to cut production to support the market. The OPEC has pumped 28.97 million barrels per day, BPD, this month, the survey found, up 150,000 barrels of oil per day from January. Output is still down more than 700,000 barrels of oil per day from September. Nigeria has been battling crude theft and security issues in its oil-producing region, hitting output. Many crude streams exported more in February, the survey found, although Africa's top producer is still pumping much less than its OPEC target.
Top oil exporter Saudi Arabia is expected to raise its official selling prices, OSPs, for Asian buyers in April, tracking stronger physical premiums this month amid the prospect of a demand revival in China. Saudi Aramco may increase its flagship Arab light grade by about 40 cents in April to $2.40 a barrel over the Dubai-Oman average, according to 5 respondents surveyed by Reuters, following strengthened Middle East crude benchmarks. Saudi unexpectedly hiked March Arab light prices to Asia, which was its first price increase in 6 months. A rise for a second consecutive month would indicate firm market confidence in demand growth.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Russia's revenues from oil and gas exports dropped by nearly 40% in January as price caps and Western sanctions squeezed the proceeds from Moscow's most lucrative export, the International Energy Agency said on Tuesday. Russia's oil and gas export revenues were $18.5 billion in January, 38% lower than the $30 billion Moscow received in January 2022, a month before its invasion of Ukraine, according to IEA numbers shared with Reuters. IEA Executive Director Fatih Birol said Western measures targeting Russian energy exports had achieved their aims of stabilizing oil markets and reducing Moscow's revenues from oil and gas exports.
India has withdrawn trading licenses for oil tankers and bulk carriers that are more than 25 years old, its shipping regulator said, as the world's third-largest greenhouse gas emitter looks to cut emissions and reduce the average age of its fleet. The order also bans acquisition of such vessels that are more than 2 decades old. Under current guidelines, vessels that are less than 25 years old can be acquired without any technical clearance. There is a need to modernize the Indian fleet, which requires extensive review of the requirements of the registration and operation of the ships, the Directorate General of Shipping said in the order uploaded on its website late on Monday.
Next, we have the top news in metal markets.
The London Metal Exchange, LME, said on Tuesday it has suspended the inflow of Russian-based metals into its US-registered warehouses due to the planned imposition of tariffs on Russian metal by the United States. The United States said on Friday it would impose a 200% tariff on aluminium and derivatives produced in Russia from March 10, and the LME said it also raised tariffs on other metals. For the avoidance of doubt, no further changes are being made to the ability to warrant Russian metal in warehouses outside of the US, the LME said in a statement. An LME warrant is an ownership document for metal in LME-linked warehouses.
Copper prices extended a rebound on Tuesday as speculators adjusted positions on hopes for a demand revival in top metals consumer China. Benchmark copper on the London Metal Exchange, LME, climbed 1.9% to $8,965.50 a ton by 1700 GMT after gaining 1% on Monday. The contract, however, was down 2.7% on a monthly basis for its first such decline since October. U.S. COMEX copper futures gained 2.1% to $4.09 per lb. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural. Ukraine has sent an appeal to the UN and Turkey to start negotiations on extending a grain export deal, but there has been no response, a Ukrainian government source said on Tuesday. Yuri Vaskov, Ukraine's Deputy Minister of Restoration, told Reuters last week that Kyiv would ask all sides to start talks to roll over the deal, seeking an extension of at least 1 year that would include the ports of Mykolaiv. The Black Sea Grain Initiative brokered by the UN and Turkey last July allowed grain to be exported from 3 Ukrainian ports. The agreement was extended in November and will expire on March 18 unless an extension is agreed.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.